Disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance.
Yo, it's your boy LJ, and welcome back to Reaction LJ, the most embarrassing XXL freestyle.
Status symbols in hip-hop, which are supposed to let an up-and-coming rapper know they're on the way to success. Years ago, it was getting the unsigned hype column in the source. Then, for the SoundCloud rap generation, it became when you got the chance to work with Cole Bennett. For a long time, the XXL freshman cover served a similar purpose. It let the world know you were next up, with a crazy track record of success stories ranging from Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole to Wale and Meek Mill. Preceded by a lengthy online campaign, the freshman cyphers and freestyles have become a part of the yearly hip-hop news cycles, but not always for the reasons that they might have hoped. Over the years, there's been plenty of times where it's created viral moments due to how poorly a rapper who is tipped to be the next up performed. At times, it's even killed a career in its tracks. It's your boy Louaista, and these are the worst XXL freshman freestyles of all time. Let's begin with one artist who seems to have misunderstood the assignment. Back in 2018, Lil Pump had a crazy, almost unfathomable level of motion when he considered that he's basically—
I gotta say this. Don't judge me, but Lil Pump was a one-hit wonder. And he still is to me. I don't listen to none of Lil Pump's songs. All I know is Gucci Gang and when he made with Kanye West. You know, and like that, those are the only two songs I know. After that, Lil Pump is just down the drain for me. Lil Pump is a one-hit wonder. If you become a one-hit wonder, that's pretty pathetic and sad.
A laughingstock today, but riding high off Gucci Gang and D Rose, his inclusion in the XXL freshman list of that year seemed like a foregone conclusion, even if maybe a little unnecessary. Because rather than just keep it moving over those trap instrumentals he was known for, Lil Pump volunteering to spit an acapella freestyle was never really going to end well. Never known as a lyricist, Lil Pump mumbled his way through a pre-written verse while looking like he wanted to be anywhere else.
End up falling off.
Pigger ain't froze, pigger ain't froze, pigger ain't covered in gold.
Lil Pump kept the same flow that he had when he made Gucci Gang. He probably would be
I got 80,000 in my
better than when
I just got a Gucci game metal though.
When he is.
I got someone doing federal. Ooh, look at my two-tone protect. I smash a hold and forget. I got a fridge on my neck. I'm smoking gas on the jet. Ooh, I love the flex.
The Lil Pump literally told the DJ to cut the beat so he can. Lil Pump, why do you cut the beat so you can freestyle? What? Oh, no. You should have just kept the beat going.
To a groupie. Ooh, and you know my life a movie. Hey, I got like Call of Duty.
And less than a year on, that same verse would churn up word for word on the track Get It. As a result, this attempt from him has gone down as an infamous misstep where the cracks begin to show. And just how limited Lil Pump really was began to become apparent to the audiences. I expected nothing, and yet I'm disappointed. The cameramen are laughing in the back, LMAO. As much of a blemish as this was for Lil Pump, it was nothing compared to the trolling that would come to the late OG Mako's way for his own attempts just a few years earlier in 2015. After the infectious piano-filled track, You Guessed It, quickly catapulted him to stardom, Mako soon caught XXL's attention, and judging by how animated he was on the vocals to that track, you'd expect him to be just as high energy in their studio. Plus, in the lead up to the performance, he spoke openly about how he was ecstatic at the prospect of being included, and getting his chance to show what he could do alongside the likes of Vince Staples, Shy Glizzy, Rory, and Fetty Wap among others from that year's class.
This class is kind of legendary at the same time because this is a time when music is switching. You know, so you get to see all the new forms of hip-hop represented.
Instead, what they got was a whole host of almost incomprehensible mumbling from Mako, who seemed like he had been left in a daze by the pressure of the occasion.
We the children of the rage. We the children of the days. We the children of going out in the blaze of glory. Hope I don't get caught with that K-ho. If I do, my homeboy don't switch his story. You know how that go. Hey, man, I seen the pick and roll. I seen the give and go. I seen my partner get some hoes a little change. You know, they did their thing. But anyway, we the children of pain. We need that. Happened? We hold that in. You can't see that. But, you know, we're seeing the friends. Hey, we gonna bring that. Hey, you got the weed, I got the gin. Let's mix that. We the children of, hey, man, I'm just cool, but money a little bit more important. I think I need to get this passport so I can keep studying out. Just looking for a reason for me to go and do shit you can't believe in.
With Mako stuttering like a spoken word artist at their first open mic night, it was a freestyle that has truly lived on in infamy ever since, and led to no shortage of trolling. Y'all gotta realize something, bro. OG Mako the first dude in XXL history to say in a freestyle. He don't even sound like he rapping. He sounds like Floyd Mayweather when he's reading a book. Bruh, was he just talking to himself? Clearly, OG Mako wasn't sure of himself when constructing or relaying these bars. But sometimes, freshmen have the opposite problem, in that they'll deliver some of the worst bars you've ever heard with their whole heart. This was the case with the ATL MC Donis. After garnering a lot of hype on the mixtape circuit, he quickly secured a deal with Atlantic. Still, even after being involved in a bidding war for his signature, he was untested in the market outside of the South. And the XXL freshman cover would serve as a perfect way to introduce himself if he stuck the landing. But it's safe to say that's pretty much the opposite of what happened. Almost immediately, he used it to stake his claim for greatness, although it actually did anything but.
Couple months ago, couldn't imagine this at all. Now you're hanging with a star like SpongeBob, Patrick. Everything I do is so coke, classic. Everything I do is so coke, classic. Y'all running off pure caffeine. I'm running off self-esteem. No gas in me, no gasoline. I'm a hybrid mix of all the best rappers that'll ever exist.
As a result, he was trolled remorselessly. Hanging with a star like SpongeBob, Patrick turned this trash right off after that. This dude was in the same class as J. Cole, Big Sean, and Nipsey. Since then, the time that you're most likely to hear Donis' name outside of underground rap circles, who fondly remember his early work, is when the conversation of the worst XXL freshman freestyle comes up. And we can imagine that wasn't the reputation he hoped to have going into it. And sure enough, he's yet to release a debut album to this day. But speaking of rappers who are synonymous with bad freestyles, we have two rare. Announced for the 2023 freshman class, this young Philly MC had arrived with plenty of buzz after a string of high-profile collaborations that paved the way for a deal with Warner. Full of bravado and confidence, Two Rare stepped up to spit his verse and wound up dancing instead.
In the green team, you a hook. The green team probably you a hook and a prepare. Why you didn't just rap the verse? Why you didn't rap your verse? I've never seen no one rap a hook. Now you doing a hook? Try to make it seem like you're rapping the hook instead of just assy chording and singing the hook. He literally did it. And this really happened.
Predictably, this guy found a lot. My ancestors came back from the dead to turn this shit off. They all in the background trying to hold a serious face looking at the ground and shit, because they know once they exchange glances, they're gonna bust out laughing. After all, it's supposed to be a vehicle to demonstrate how well you can rap, not your dance moves. But rather than accept that it was a miscalculation, Too Rare insisted it was all part of the plan, and that his best performance was left on the cutting room floor.
I ain't gonna lie.
I know how good it's a hook. Now you trying to do a hook and chord in first give, make it like a rap.
Go viral from
make it like you spinning forward.
I'm like,
not like you singing
like, what can I do this? She was saying like, Too Rare, this is my year. Too Rare, this is my year. I'm like, no, I can't do that. He really gonna flame me, you feel me? She was like, no, just try to come up with something, da-da-da-da. I'm like, all right, bet. Long story short, they didn't even put my best take on this shit, you feel me, to begin with. But the way they chopped it up, you feel me, it's still love for XXL, but the way they chopped that shit up, like, they used like one of my first takes, you feel me? It's like plenty of takes that was doing. And I probably did like my best on like the 4th or 5th.
Right, you got comfortable.
And that's the one where I kind of like hit the dance and shit and all that shit. So the way they chopped it up, I'm like, then we ain't had no say so. I'm like, fuck it though. It kind of did what it did, you feel me? But I was kind of really trolling like with the dance and shit and all that. Everybody thought I just lost bars and I just started doing the dance. Like, I just let them run with what they run with for you feel me? It was a gift.
Despite his best efforts, no one is really buying that there's a superior version of that performance. But he's not the only person to refuse to take the L. As the woman behind behind one of the most infamous and widely mocked XXL freestyles still remains that her appearance wasn't as embarrassing as everyone else believed it was. Going into the 2021 freshman class, Ray Ray already had a whole host of doubters. As the daughter of Benzino, best known these days as one of Eminem's punching bags, she came in with a reputation she didn't exactly choose. Her animated persona and Playboy Cardi-style baby voice didn't help her case either. So if she wanted to propel herself away from this reputation, a good showing on a grand stage could go a long way. But as you probably guessed, it didn't pan out that way. And not only that, she started twerking when she ran out of bars.
She actually ran out of bars for real.
He a freak, fell in love with me, let's go. Watch us all get lit, watch us all get rich, couple niggas with bricks, come on.
There's no way that you actually lost a couple bars. Like you kept on, like you were flowing, then you end up losing us, then you end up flowing, then you end up losing. Like how you flow, lose, flow, lose, flow, lose. Like how you do that?
Sticks, but you love my butter to me, my wrist, gotta see, yeah, we all get money, yeah, bitch, we all get money. Yeah,
why are you doing?
We all get money.
Don't try to help type it up now.
Get money, let's go.
Oh, nah.
Where most poor XXL freshman freestyles might get you clout.
Nah, I don't mind the girl twerking, but they be spitting bars while they twerking because they know what they're singing. There's no way you just twerk after just not even singing. Oh my god.
Little while, this one was quickly declared to be among the most cringeworthy that we had ever seen. But not if you ask Koi, because in the aftermath of this major blemish, she somehow maintained that she had the best one, and was one of the best artists out of the whole pack.
I love music,
oh,
you know,
and
all these people that watch
you just sing that because you got nice,
and once again,
round.
They never heard my album.
So
my album is
nice
probably
round.
the best work I've ever made in my life.
That's
better than
all
any
you
other
sing.
mixtapes. Like I'll throw out everything and replace
the other
everything
people
with this album because
want to
it's
way
so
better
fire.
than you.
So to me, it's just
you
like
just had that nice
you know they don't know. I went up there in XXL.
You made one.
God went drop behind the scenes because I was lit.
I can't.
But I knew at the end of the day I'm gonna have fun. Like. They put me up there with Lakia. She's
this is insane.
Freestyle beast, you know? Like, DDG, pin game crazy. Moray, fire. So I already knew what I was walking into. Somebody had to be the best and somebody had to be the worst. I just feel like if I'm not going to be the best freestyle, I mean, I'm going to just have fun with my shit and do whatever makes me happy, you know?
Yeah.
But if you put me in a booth with anybody on that XXL roll-up, I guarantee you ain't nobody seen me in the studio, and that's on me.
But it's safe to say that people were not really willing to feed into her delusions. In fact, they even felt like it was harmful to others who would kill for that kind of opportunity. She may not realize it, but her lazy/unprepared performance in the cypher is making it harder for women to actually be taken serious. Not only does she think that she had the best freestyle, she thinks she can wash everyone in the studio. Dog, she is insane. In spite of what Koi was trying to do, the end result was that everyone was just basically laughing at her. But it's hard to tell if that's a better response than literally terrifying the audience with one of the weirdest spoken word rants you'll hear outside of prison. By the time the late great XXXTentacion descended upon the XXL cover in 2017, he was already well on his way to becoming a superstar, possessing his own unique energy and a trademark style of dark, melancholic raps, which captivated a generation of young listeners. There was a sense that whatever he did during that cypher, it would leave his fans amazed. But it didn't quite go that way. As opposed to flexing his considerable skills on the mic, X instead signaled for them to cut the beat so he could deliver some stark, twisted poetry.
And if the world ever has an apocalypse, I will kill all of you fuckers. Fear will be plentiful, death will be bountiful, I will spare none of you peasants. Fuck your religion, your pastor fuck kids and got sent to a prison in PC. I seen the devil, he's in you with me, you need saving to listen to this, see. Follow him home, cut the right corner so nobody sees you. Turn off your phone, leave it at home so nobody can trace you. Mask your expressions, appear to be calm, they won't read your intentions. As soon as you're in, let them all know who they're all in the presence of. I am a murderer, I am a demon, the son of a serpent. What is your faith? What is your worth? Have you felt acknowledged? If I kill you now, will you go to heaven or hell you believe in? Death is approaching you. 30 seconds to think before lying and blood see.
That felt more like an evil ritual than a rap performance. And it led to some hilarious memes.
It felt like
we're having such a great time, guys.
Or trying to control someone.
Slip my
wrist on a cross, I fucking hate God. And all you faggots are nothing, I'm a God.
Did you
I don't give a shit about rap.
Not
I'm
interpret, but
white
did
God,
you try to like
pieces.
reverse it to understand like
what
what you're trying to say?
This shit of the fuck and fuck the bitches, I don't give a shit. Wake me up. Wake me up inside. Save me.
As you'd expect, this strange performance left most people scratching their heads, but it still managed to gain a cult following among his most loyal fans. Above all, X's performance should prove just how much of a magnetic spirit he had, because if anyone else had even attempted something like that, they'd have been the butt of the joke forever. And someone who knows all about being in that unfortunate position is Lil Mosey. Looking back, the 2019 cypher was a severely mixed bag. In the aftermath, the Baby and Megan Thee Stallion were praised for their showings, both of them cementing themselves as real future stars. But for Lil Mosey, the Blueberry Faygo artist had a very poor outing, and one other one who severely dropped the ball, but we'll get to that later.
Goddamn, I feel like the man. Freshman of the year, I woke up like the man. Never poppin' Zans, cause they killing me, damn. When you got it money, they be trying to be your friend. Okay.
As word got around about just how badly it did, Mosey promptly got flamed from all angles. And even to this day, it lives on as a disaster like few we've seen before or since. Lil Mosey gave us that high school lunch table freestyle. Unlike some others who've been unable to concede to what went wrong, Mosey held his hands up to it and actually seemed to take it all in good humor.
Hey, I'm glad he laughed at it and said he know what he did wrong. Cause most of these people in here don't even take a considerity or take it like, oh, I know my part was worse, but I did what I didn't. No, you can't.
I'm not gonna lie, my freestyle was trash. I don't freestyle, as y'all can see. I like to write songs and sing melodies, but I tried and had fun.
Why.
While it's not really his usual style, Mosey still did his best to attempt to put some rhymes together. But the other man in the freestyle, other than the Baby and Megan, didn't understand the assignment at all. As Worth It elevated him into stardom, YK Osiris was intent on telling anyone that would listen that he was the breath of fresh air that R&B needed. But
this dude had to been #1 as the worst XXL freestyle. Right? This dude sang. He sang on and freaking freestyle rap. You're supposed to rap. Where in the world did it say sing? Why am I gonna come on there and say, oh, mommy, you may like me, you may like me, ooh. Like, why would I be trying to do Chris Breezy, Chris Brown, or one of those same type hip hop artists?
It was definitely not a great fit for the freshman cover in terms of skill set. As a result, his freestyle was trolled for sounding like an American Idol audition that was cut off in the middle.
Tell me why you changed on me. Why you had to change? You know that you changed on me.
This dude
why you had to change?
Keep his career going.
And soon, his contributions to the cypher weren't received much better as he persisted with refusing to rap.
He couldn't even keep it going.
Like y'all know me. I put them diamonds on my neck.
As the precedent for singers struggling to lock into the task was set long ago by a strangely haunting performance from Ty Dolla $ign. These days, Ty is renowned as a great vocalist who can bring a new flavor to basically any track. That's why he's so in demand for features, and even teamed up with Kanye for a joint album prior to him losing what was left of his mind. But it's miraculous that any of that happened if any of them watched this strange effort from him.
I like to get my dick while I'm getting high. Make it throw them out from the mouth, get. I say who this? She say dollar sign. Who pussy is this? She say dollar sign. Still got a 9 to 5. Say that she mine, but that's a lie. These are the end. She want the money, fame. Sauce really don't be loving these hoes. These hoes don't be loving.
And sure enough, people had jokes. Whose forehead is this? She said $sign. This video makes me uncomfortable. The cameraman is a victim. How did his career survive this? Where Ty Sign made everyone watching feel like they had just been assaulted, Anderson .Paak on the other hand just left people a little disappointed. If you know anything about Anderson, he's one of the most versatile artists in the game. Over the years, he's exhibited his ability to do everything from R&B to soul, and even hip-hop with ease. However, the XXL cypher alongside Designer and Lil Dicky was one scenario where he couldn't rise to the occasion.
I took your mama to Yard House. I took her to Yard House. I took your mama to Greystone.
No way. He couldn't even catch a beat. Like, he did catch it, but when you hear it, it's like his verse wasn't going the same as the beat. It's like, when you got good verse, you have to have your bars, your song going with the beat. So, because if you had the beat and your song going at the same flow, same time, everything, fire.
We got in with no problems. I bought his tickets to Key Sweat. It was live at Pachanga. Look, I took your mama to Oxnard. We went surfing on long boards like I hopped on the stage.
Why would y'all just try to stop it before even
I know it's a tip, but I'm bringing out Dre, I'm bringing out K, I'm bringing out Tip. I'm looking 3 sacks in the face. I'm with the Free Nationals. What more can I say? This shit is a trip. Lemonade, lemonade, baby, I'm faithful. What more can I say? I'm fucking the flesh like to cope with the pain. What more can I say?
When you consider how much he's achieved, it probably wasn't a huge deal. However, the problem is it did cause people to diagnose .Paak as a whack rapper, when he's far more than that. I didn't listen to Anderson .Paak for years because of this cypher. Glad I came around to his music eventually though. Same, I realized he's not a rapper per se. The cypher was the worst thing he's ever done, and the rest of his career is incredible. But for Lil Dicky's, it's the other way around. However, it's safe to say that he's redeemed himself and then some ever since. He's not the first renowned artist to take a misstep at this prestigious event. Even legends have faltered. Whether it was Future rapping over a beat that he'd never normally touch.
After XXL Freestyle don't really redeem themselves after horrible
Real street reppin' for Atlanta. Ain't dropped, but I'm still in the phantom. And
I would never expect
like a calendar.
Future to have
and I still got stamina. Let my little homie do you on camera. Yeah, we ain't them with some animals. Got a house and a condo in Miami. What you doing, what you do for the fucking Grammy? How I do what it take for the paper chase. Freestyle out the dome, whatever it take.
Or Cardi basically repurposing Magnolia, but with less effectiveness.
Yeah, hide it in my sock, hide it in my sock. Ooh, serenary rock. First I park my car, then I pour the walk. I'm a walk star, I'm a pop star. Ay, pop a lot of beans. Ay, she just on the team. Ay, she was on the fiend. She just want to drink. Ay, I just got a new hoe. That's my favorite bitch. Ay, I just got a new watch, diamonds on my wrist. Ay, yeah.
Okay.
Ay, watch this. Ay, LV's up. Kim Jones in my line had to plug up.
But while they weren't exactly the show-stopping outings they'd hoped to deliver, these were at least allowed to see the light of day, in spite of the clear lack of finesse or talent on show. While in the case of one member of the 2024 freshman class, he hit a new low when he wasn't even allowed to be released. An emerging artist from North Carolina, Huncho had racked up some high-level collaborations in the lead up to be—
You tell me it couldn't be released? So you tell me this was last year, and his part couldn't be— wow. Damn, Huncho.
You'd expect from the rollout. But when his trailer dropped, it backfired almost instantly. Fans clowned him hard for the heavy use of autotune, turning this clip into a full-on roast session.
He said it was less autotune.
I make it worse some. I don't care what you're worth.
I'm not mad that rapper you autotune, but as long as you don't use autotune on your verse. When you buy space some hard bar, don't use autotune for your verse. Right? You can use it for the hook. For like the hook in the chorus, and for like the areas and the background vocals. But when it comes to your main vocal, like you rapping, don't put no autotune in it. Please.